I might like he was like, "Do you know who the fuck I'm like you were talking to?" And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" So basically, yeah, even my brother, who is really really open minded, like he was like kind of down with the situation, and that's kind of why I'm doing this stream, and that's kind of why I even like decided to do the video yesterday because I decided to use him for content because like why can I not use him for content at this point? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna make sure about this. Why am I doing this stream? Why did I upload that video? Because I'm using him for content because that's freaking hilarious actually. So I'm memeing this whole like thing, and no like yeah, full views basically. So actually, I'm 100% doing this full views. You know, like how Sora doing things full views is kind of like a meme. But no, in this stream, I'm actually doing this full views. I'm gonna make it obvious. I'm gonna make it.
Of course it's look at my MS bro. Holy shit.
Like in that.
Bravo.
Here,
His
bro.
content now. For me, yes. I was fine with it, but then he raged and he kicked me out of a house I was in, which I owned. So I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is he actually being a true memer? Like, that's like what you see only in Call of Duty, but he's doing it in real life. What the fuck? And so, here. Let me talk about the second thing. So, why mom and brother? Like, why why are my mom and my brother paying for the debt? What the fuck? Like you guys actually, you don't have to pay for it, like that shit. Like what the fuck? Like what? Like, I've never seen
Are you serious,
my
bro?
my life since I was born. Like my family is freaking weird as fuck, yo. Like I've been kind of talking about this here and there, but like I've never seen my dad and my mom actually talking in my entire life. No. So like you know how in a normal family, probably like your parents talk to each other, right? I've never seen that in my entire life. I'm not wanted to say something to my mom, then he would say.
How were we able to stream, bro? Like yesterday.
About it in the other stream like 2 years ago. I really thought my mom was like bullying my dad actually because he's the quiet one. My mom is the more like vocal one. Like she would actually say things like "what the fuck," but my dad wouldn't say anything. So I really thought it was like a bullying situation where my mom is like being harsh towards my dad, but my dad is like. I really thought that was the situation, but.
Oopsies, my bad. It's an excellent condition.
Basically, yeah. So that's my family situation. And then, why the fuck did my mom and my brother actually decided to pay for his debt, right? It's a family thing. It's like who will some stuff like in my family, but my family is sort of like my dad is kind of famous in a way. Like in my city, like if you were in my city, yeah, you probably have seen my dad like once. Like it's a long.
so laggy, bro.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Bro.
And I'll talk about this later, but thank you so much for the donation. Let me just talk about the whole story here, because like I covered everything. So yeah, and then after that, I'm gonna just answer some questions and whatever. But in this stream, I'm just using my dad for content. Okay, I'm gonna make it obvious. I'm using him for views and clout. Like I'm gonna just say it, because that way it makes sense. Okay, I'm using him for views and clout and content. I'm going for the sub count, and I'm going for that watch time. For I'm using him. Yeah, I'm gonna. Obviously, I'm gonna make it clear. It's not like, oh, you know what? I just wanted you guys to know. It's not that.
MG, one views, bro. One view. Hello.
Go ahead.
Nothing. The screen. Bro, it's so laggy. I'm so far from the Wi-Fi.
It's not patient. It's what the one.
It's so.
This is them.
How to fix
Not
this?
moaning, bro.
Right.
That's no problem.
Bro, fix your mic. I can't
The
hear you.
problem.
I can't
I
hear
do,
you.
and my brother was like,
No.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take care of my mom, and I was like, but like, brother, dude, like you
Holy frick. Wi-Fi ass today.
have like mom and probably like you like dad too, right? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I got this, and I'm like, like, dude, like. How are you so sure? Like then you have to take care of like your future too. Like you know that, right? And he was like, yeah, like you don't worry about it. You just don't worry about it. Like you've been through a lot of things already, right? And I was like, yeah, but like what the fuck? And then I was like, you know what? I mean, when it comes down to the money situation, I got all of these. Like I can just actually pay for whatever is $50,000 like debt. I got this. It's not like it's hard for me. It is hard, but like I was like, it's not hard for me. Like I got this. It's like I will just pay for it, but I'm not gonna freaking like talk to dad again. Like it's probably like how it is for me. So like let me just pay for it, and you guys will be fine. And they were like, Sora, you went through that shit already. And I was like, yeah, like I went through that like 2 years ago, and that's kind of why I don't talk to my dad anymore. But like still, like why do you have to do that? And they were like, yeah, we don't really want to cause trouble. And thank you, Inductor. Hi. But hoping things get better. I've been through something. Thank you so much for the donation, yeah. But yeah, it's that situation. So they have to. And as to my brother, I'm not gonna really give him any money because like he said he's fine. And he works too, so he's not gonna accept any money from me. But as to my mom though, so I am thinking about this actually in my next video. I'm gonna freaking use this whole thing for my channel actually. Like you really have to, like you really cannot just like let somebody use you and be like you kind of have to use this situation, you know what I mean? It's like this situation as a chance. You know what I mean? You kind of have to do that, and that's what I'm doing. I'm using my data for content, for views. I'm using my data for the sub count, and I'm using my data for everything. So my plan. So my mom doesn't have any like money, and I know like my mom likes to go to like Hokkaido and whatever, but she cannot do any of those anymore, and she's freaking 64, which means she's not gonna get a lot of money from like. So
I think today is not
Uh,
the day, bro. is so laggy.